Episode 9. Blood Price. The storm arrived the night after the masquerade. Thunder roared like a warning, shaking the windows of Drake Hall. Lightning forked the skies above the estate, illuminating the dark wings of the manor like ghostly specters. Inside, silence had settled over the corridors, but tension clung to the air, thick, choking, and unspoken. Amara sat curled on the velvet chaise in her room, a blanket wrapped around her shoulders, her fingers clutched around a teacup that had long gone cold. Her thoughts spun Cassian's confession, his protectiveness at the masquerade, the glint in his eyes when he'd watched her dance with Ezra, and then there was the letter ... It had arrived in the early hours. Slipped under her door without a trace. A single line written in an elegant, unfamiliar script. You belong to him now, but does he belong to you? She hadn't shown it to Cassian. She hadn't even burned it. The paper sat in her nightstand drawer, folded and poisonous. Cassian's fist collided with the heavy oak desk in his study, shattering the stillness. Who the hell is playing games with my wife? He growled. Victor stood in the corner of the room, arms folded, face like stone. No one gets into Drake Hall without your say-o. If someone left that note, it was done from the inside. Cassian's jaw clenched. His control was fraying, the walls he had built, brick by brick, over years now cracking. He couldn't afford this, not when he had enemies waiting to pounce. I want every servant vetted, everyone, and if one so much as blinks wrong, they disappear. Victor gave a sharp nod. Understood. But even with Victor's loyalty, Cassian couldn't shake the truth echoing in his mind. Amara was no longer just a tool. She was a vulnerability, and someone out there knew it. Later that day, Amara entered the library where Cassian had been waiting, arms crossed, eyes cold. I want to ask you something, she said, standing tall despite the unease curling in her belly. His brow arched. Then ask. She hesitated, then stepped forward. Why won't you tell me who Ezra is to you? His expression darkened like thunderclouds gathering. He's no one. He's nothing. That's not true, she pressed. You looked at him like you wanted to bury a knife in his heart. Silence. He turned away. Amara walked closer. I can't help you if you keep shutting me out, Cassian. You're not here to help me, he said sharply, spinning back to face her. You're here because we made a deal. Her voice rose. And I've honored that deal. I've played the part. I've kept my head down. I've stood by your side when half the city wanted to spit on me. He stepped toward her, the fire behind him casting shadows across his face. And I've protected you, he growled. I've kept you alive. You don't know the wolves at my door, Amara. You don't know what they'd do to you to get to me. Then show me, she shouted. Let me see the beast you're hiding from me, because all I see is a man drowning in secrets, and I'm tired of pretending that's enough. The room went quiet. Cassian stared at her, and for the first time, something cracked in his eyes, something raw and haunted. He didn't speak. He simply walked past her and left. That night, Amara wandered into the West Wing, a place Victor had warned her never to go. But curiosity and desperation drove her forward. The door at the end of the hallway creaked open, revealing a room steeped in shadow. And inside, photographs, dozens, maybe hundreds, tacked to the walls, laid across tables and file boxes. Surveillance shots, documents, death records. She stepped closer. A picture caught her eye. It was of her. Months before they met, Amara staggered back, breath caught in her throat. Another image, her father, standing beside Cassian. The blood drained from her face. Why had Cassian been watching her before they ever met? Behind her, the door clicked shut. I told you not to come here. Cassian's voice was low, lethal. Amara turned slowly. You were spying on me before the contract? He stepped forward, the shadows clinging to him like a second skin. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Then what was it supposed to be? Her voice trembled. Another pawn? A piece on your board? His silence was answer enough. Tears burned her eyes, but she refused to fall apart in front of him. "You don't love me," she whispered. "No," he said. "I don't." It was the sharpest lie he'd ever told. Amara left the West Wing that night and returned to her room in silence. She packed a single bag, and at dawn she disappeared. Victor burst into the study. "She's gone." Cassian rose from his desk, his heart stopping. "No, she's not." Victor held out the note she left behind. Cassian snatched it, eyes scanning the words. "I gave you everything, and it was never enough. I won't be your prisoner anymore." He crumpled the letter in his fist. "Find her." Victor hesitated. "And what do we do?" Cassian's voice was steel. "Bring her home." But inside, fear wrapped its cold hands around his throat. Because the world beyond Drakehall was full of enemies. And Amara Vale had just walked into the lion's den.